So hi everyone. So today going to show you the practical on Amazon ECR. So previously I've also recorded a video, but it's a 30-minute video, and I don't know what is the error is happened, and my voice is not audible in that video. So like I have to just record this video again. First thing first, let me straightly go and tell you what about Amazon ECR is. So Amazon ECR is a Elastic Container Registry service. So as the name suggests, is a container registry, and I hope and that you have also heard about Docker Hub. That is also container registry. So what make us choose ECR instead of Docker Hub is like ECR first thing is by default as private, whereas the Docker Hub is by default public. The another reason is like ECR is more kind of reliable than Docker Hub because everything what happen in Docker Hub is run on the basis of Docker Hub. That is a single point of failure in that, but that's not in the case of ECR, where we can replicate the same uh, image or repository into one region to another region. The second thing is like ECR, if you are working with Amazon for a longer period of time in your organization and you want a Docker image that is being used by your employees. So, but in case of Docker Hub is that you have to go and manually add them as a collaborator. But in case of ECR, the main benefit is that it comes with IAM policy. So you have to directly make an IAM user and he can directly use this ECR. So that is going to make your time and work more flexible and reliable. So that's the few things I want to mention before starting with ECR. So to start this project, firstly, what we are going to do is we are going to use Docker desktop. So I request if you don't have Docker desktop, just install it from here. So yeah, you can install the Docker desktop from here. The second thing we are going to use is AWS CLI. So we are going to use the command line of AWS. So if you are not a techie guy and you just want a simple installation, you can directly install from here. It's MSL file. But if you are just kind of want to see the terminal working and displaying code or array in a one go, you can go here using the Amazon CLI. Get started. You can just install the CLI here. So after installing the CLI, you can go to the Windows. You can directly execute few commands from here, like everything, and get a version of it. So you have to go your command prompt and just copy paste the commands. I will already install the CLI, so I'm going to just write the last command, that is AWS dash dash version, which is going to give me the version of AWS. So yeah, here I got the AWS version. It means the AWS is installed in my system. Next thing you have to do is like you have to configure your AWS. So for that, go to your Amazon, and in this section go to the security credential. So you have to make access keys. So make I just going to delete my previous ones for now. I'm just going to create a new access key with you. What is the access key ID? So here is the access key ID. I have to write it fully from here to like here. Then we are going to delete it. So yeah, I'm going to create a new access key with you. So let's create an access key here. So you are going to write here AWS configure. Now you are going to here mention the AWS access keys, which is this, and also you are going to mention the secret. I've copied my secret from here and just put it here. Nextly, you are going to tell the reason from where you are operating from. For example, I'm from India. I'm using a AP South one, the Mumbai region. I'm for demonstrating purpose. I'm showing you my access keys and IDs, but later on I'm going to delete this. Next, they ask you for the output format. There are two, YAML and JSON. Go with the JSON one. Now we are done with our AWS CLI. Let's click on done. Now what we are going to do is we are going to use the our ECR service. So let's go into our ECR. So before using our ECR, just let's make a simple Docker file. For that, I'm going to make a Python file. So let's take it as app.py. Let me write print hello AWS. We are using ECR. Yep, after that we are going to create a Docker file, because this Docker file we are going to push into our what can I say, into our ECR. So for this I'm using Ubuntu as a base image. Then what up next is that we are going to write our working directory. For our case, let's create it app. Then we are going to write our, from where we are going to copy and put it there. Then we are going to mention the things, like what things we have to install before running this file. So that I mentioned here. Then these are the entry points, like we have to go with Python and app.py. So let's go into our AWS ECR, make a new repo. Let me name it as my Python app, app, my Python app. Okay, let name it as my app Python for now. So the image tag is like mutable and immutable. So what mutable means, like you can override the previous existing images, but whereas immutable means you are not going to override, and it is going to kind of create a version or something, and it's prevent from, basically, as I mentioned, it prevent image tags from being overwritten. Then let's just create and ECR. So now if you go into this, you can see here the view push commands. So view push command is basically helping us to push our Docker image into our AWS ECR. So it's very easy to use. You're just going to copy this command and going to paste in here. But before pasting, let's move on to the directory where we have make our app and Docker file. So for me, it's in my OneDrive, then it's my documents, then it's my codes, then it's in my AWS, then it is in my projects, then it is the ECR file. So if I write dir, yeah, so you can say there is app and there is a direct Docker file. So up here we are going to paste this command. So what this line of command is, like we are saying our AWS ECR to get a login ID and password, because as you know, we are using AWS CLI and we have configured ourselves that these are access keys, so through which we can access our AWS. Moreover, we have also provided a reason. So I am currently fully working my application AP South 1. So yeah, that's where I'm working, and that's what mentioned that it is going to the reason, going to the access keys, get my password and put in here. Then there is a simple Docker login to our ECR. Then after that, the login is being successful. We are going to create a Docker image. For that, we are using Docker build command. So it's going to take approximate huge amount of time actually, because the Ubuntu image is kind of rich in size. It approximately 500 to 600 MBs. So it is going to take some time to create a Docker image. So In the meantime, let us do one thing. We just go to the Amazon ECR official page and let's see what is doing. So ECR is AWS maintained managed container image registry service that is secure, scalable, and reliable. The first thing is that whenever you see anything related to Elastic, it means it is scalable in nature. Moreover, moreover, it is secure because it is public by default. It is scalable, and the main thing I want to tell you about, like, let's create a scenario where you want your application to be used by developers. You are a company size of like let's assume 10,000 users. So if you want your user to use the Docker image and you are using Docker Hub in this case, so you have to manually go and add everyone as a collaborator for the 10,000 people. But AWS ECR do a thing little simple for us here. It just support private registries with resource based permission using AWS IAM. So while creating a IAM user, I am just directly going to attach like, yeah, this person is going to my the ECR service instead, or I can directly give the authorization to a group instead of a particular individual, and the group people are going to use my ECR service. This is also that the specified user or AWS can access your container repositories and images. Okay. Or you can use preferred CLI to push, pull, and manage Docker images. For example, we are using AWS inbuilt CLI. Moreover, like you can also make your AWS images, AWS ECR as public also. So it is not specific like you can't make it public, but you can make it public also if you want some other organization want or some individual want to use your image. So that is also being provided by AWS. There is a particular guide in here. You can check it out. So let's see in the meantime what is our condition of the Docker file. It is keep on generating. As I mentioned, it is going to create a quite a bit time because the Ubuntu image is quite a heavy one. I should go with the easier like CentOS or something known as Dockerless images. So we can reduce our size of our Docker images also. So in the upcoming I will videos I will going to show you how you can reduce your Docker size by the concept of multi-staging or the Dockerless, or you can call it as Dockerless images also. So for now, as we can see that our Docker build has been created. Now let's check the Docker images. So there it is, my Python app. So what we are going to do is now just copy this command and paste it here. Now let's push our Docker into our ECR. Sorry, Docker image into our ECR. So here it is showing it is of 544 MB. So we are pushing the 544 MB file into our Docker ECR. So let's wait for that. Meantime, I'm going to read some feature of Amazon ECR. So Amazon ECR is a lifecycle policy, help with managing a lifecycle of image in your repository. You define rules that result in cleaning up of unused images. So if let's assume there is a particular image of 2 GB and you are not using it for a long time, you can just define the rules like you can directly delete that particular image from your ECR, because as you know that ECR is a paid service by Amazon. You have to pay a certain amount of using ECR service. So you have to be more careful about how you are going to use ECR. Moreover, image scanning help in identifying software vulnerabilities in your container images. Each repository can be configured to scan and push. So another great thing about ECR is like their Amazon is taking care of your security. So before pushing an image, it is being scanned and checked the whether it doesn't contain any malicious code which going to create an issue for you. The next thing is like cross region and cross account applications. So that I mentioned, like the main problem about Docker Hub is a single point of failure. Like everything is running uh, due to the Docker Hub registry. But in the AWS, if there is some issues from one region, that you can directly replicate the same repo into another region and you can exit it from here. That is not a big issue. Now the next thing is pull through cache rules provide a way to cache repository in an upstream registry in your private Amazon ECR registry. Using a pull through cache rule, Amazon ECR will periodically reach out to the upstream registry to ensure cache images in your Amazon ECR private registry is up to date. So that's you can also create a cache rules for your Amazon ECR. So that's not a thing to bother about. Next thing is pricing for ECR. Like with Amazon ECR, you only pay for the amount of data is stored in the repository and for data transfer for images, push and pulls. So yeah, just I mentioned, like it is a paid service. So if there is some unused repository images, then you can directly delete it, because why you should pay for something which you are not using, because Amazon main policy is pay as you go. But whereas as you check for the Docker Hub, it is a free of course, like you don't have to pay anything. But yeah, everything is like public in there. But as I mentioned, public in Docker Hub, but you must know that you can make things public. No, you can make things private in Docker Hub also. So yeah, there are private repositories in Docker Hub also. That is the main thing about here. Now, as you see, our image is being pushed into our AWS ECR. So let's check our ECR, like did we get our image or not. So currently there is no image. So yeah, there is a image of size 208 MB. So let me run, so let me check the first Docker images. Yeah, if I going to run like docker run my app Python, then yeah, we are getting that hello AWS, we are using ECR from here. That's great, but now I'm going to show you how you can just uh, as we are pushed. Now I'm going to show you how you can pull an image from ECR. So firstly, let me clean out my container. uh, Cleaning out my container means that I just run this container, so it may be attached to my Docker, so I just clean it out. Next thing is I going to remove this my app Python from here. Okay, Docker image. So yeah, there is a Docker my app Python. Okay, so let me just directly remove doctor remove, and let me copy this image ID. So I just copied it here and let me just paste it. So now if you're going to check my app Python, which is my currently thing, is being deleted. The other thing is also I'm going to delete, because I mentioned like uh, I recorded the video earlier, but the voice is not coming, so that's an issue. But for now, let's delete this one also. It's creating a kind of mess around here. So now check the Docker images. So yeah, there is no Python related Docker image. So Docker volumes. Uh, Let me delete our volumes also. So yeah. So what? So if at any point you want to pull a Docker image, what you have to going to use is this URI. You just copy this URI and just write docker pull and paste this URI. So it is going to pull the Docker image from the AWS ECR. Now if I check and see the Docker images, so yeah, here you can see my app Python is here and it is created like 7 minutes ago. Now if I run this. So let me just run by the name itself for this point of time. Copy, paste. So yeah, after pulling the image from the ECR, you can also see the same code is same Docker file is being pushed in the ECR and it's saying hello AWS, we are using ECR. So yeah, that is what I want to show you. Moreover, there is a last thing. After done with this type of practicals, do remember to delete the ECR files and repositories, images and repository. And as I mentioned, it is a paid service. You have to pay for the amount of thing or storage you are using it for. So currently there is nothing a private, and that is all about like how you can practically use the AWS ECR service. So if you think that this video is kind of helpful for you, so do uh, do help to mention in the down below. And if you want some real life and practical implementation of some other service, then please mention it. I will for sure provide you with that. That's all. Thank you.